Hello, guys. Welcome to our seventh class. Today's class is going to be fully in English because I think last class was in Portuguese, and that is way too easy for you guys. Okay, so at first we're going to see different like the passive voice in different tenses. Okay, so in the infinitive, in the perfect infinitive, in the present perfect, the past perfect, and all those sorts of things. Okay, so first we're going into the infinitive form of the passive voice. Reminder, this is the second part of the passive voice content. And in the next class, we'll have another part, which is the third and last one. Okay, so here we have the structure. So let's compare the structure of the active and the passive form in the infinitive. Okay, so here we see that when it's active, you do something to do, okay? And when it's the passive, it's to be done, to be cleaned, to be seen. So there's quite a difference, and I think it's pretty clear. So I think you have already grasped into the idea of the difference between active and passive. So here we have somebody will clean this room later. This room will be cleaned later. Just a little reminder, the infinitive is the raw form of the verb, okay? It's the natural form of the verb. Doesn't have any alteration in it, okay? So let's read the examples. The situation is serious. Something must be done before it's too late. A mystery is something that can't be explained. The music was very loud and could be heard from a long way away. A new supermarket is going to be built next year. Please go away. I want to be left alone. So you can notice that it's like all the sentences there in the passive form. Okay? Now moving on to the perfect infinitive. Okay, to begin with. So the structure of the perfect infinitive is to have plus the past participle of the verb, okay? So here in the passive form we have to have been done, cleaned, okay? So now let's sort of check into the difference between infinitive and perfect infinitive, okay? So here we can see it's pretty raw, like to do, to clean. And in the perfect form, we have to have. So just pay attention to the have here and you will be pretty sure that it's perfect infinitive. Okay, so somebody should have cleaned the room. The room should have been cleaned. So the room is suffering a kind of action and not the other way around in the active voice. So I haven't received the letter yet. It might have been sent to the wrong address. If you had locked the car, it wouldn't have been stolen. There were some problems at first, but they seem to be have been solved. Okay, so the have is a really big key when we're talking about the perfect infinitive. Okay, so moving on to the another topic is the present perfect. So I'm pretty sure you are quite familiar with the present perfect since we have seen it previously. Okay, so again, the key word in the present perfect is actually is not a keyword. It's like a key structure. Okay, so it's the has been, have been. Okay, so it's kind of it's in the present, and so it's kind of like in something that happened in the past and has a straight consequence in the present. Okay, so let's see, the room looks nice, it has been cleaned. So the action in the past is that the room has been cleaned, and the direct consequence is that the room looks nice. So have you heard the trip has been cancelled? Have you ever been bitten by a dog? Are you going to the party? No, I haven't been invited. Okay, so I think it's pretty easy. I think the perfect form, yeah, the perfect tense in the verbs, it has like really unique characteristics, and I don't think it is very hard. But in case you have any doubts, don't hesitate to go in our previous classes and study a little more about the time tenses. Okay, So the next form we have here is the past perfect. Okay, so the perfect is pretty much the same logic, but it's like two actions in a past, but one was previous to the other. Okay, so something happened first and then something and then we're talking about a time in the past that has been affected by that action that happened before that specific time in the past. So the room looked nice. Somebody had cleaned. So the room looked nice because when I like previously when I looked at the room and moments before it was cleaned. Okay, that makes sense. So the room looked tight. Oh, sorry. The room looked nice. It had been cleaned. So the vegetables didn't taste good. They had been cooked too long. So those are two different situations in sorry, this is one situation in which an action that happened before, it's like before two times before, had in like a direct impact on what's happening next. Okay, so the present continuous, and I think it's more I think it's the easiest one. And the present continuous is basically something, it's always with the ing, so you have the verb to be plus the gerúndio, okay, the ing of the verb. Okay, so the difference is that in the passive voice you have the being. Okay, so the somebody is cleaning the room at the moment, this is active, but in the passive way there is the room is being cleaned at the moment, so the room is under some kind of distress. Okay, so we have another examples. There's somebody walking behind us. I think we are being followed. A new bridge is being built across the river. It will be finished next year. And the last but not least is the past continuous, which we have seen at least twice this semester. So we have the structure in the active form was, were, plus the verb, and in the passive we have was, were, plus being, tanana, the verb. Okay, so the active form in this sentence in specific is somebody was cleaning the room when I arrived. But in the passive is the room was being cleaned when I arrived. Always remembering that in the past continuous, we're talking about an action that was going on when we did something. Okay, so I arrived and the room was being cleaned. There was already something going on there. Okay, do you get it? It's pretty easy. We already know it. I'm sure you know it because you're all such good students. And here's the example. There was somebody walking behind us. I think we were being followed. Okay, so this is a rather short class. Next class we're going to talk about the last passive voice content. And for homework today, I would like you to write a paragraph about a fiction character you hate and use the keyword in one sentence. Okay, so you can write a paragraph. It can have like as many lines as that you want to. Okay, so you can have like 5 lines, 10 lines, whatever. I don't really care. I just want you to use the keyword because I really care about improving your vocabulary, having a more extensive knowledge in the English language. Okay, so you can give me this paragraph in Friday, and that's all. Thank you for watching the class, and see you next week. Bye bye.